Just to let you know what's happening on the program today, we've got quite an interesting lineup. I have a pre-recorded interview that I'm actually going to share with you a little later on the program. Many of you remember Mr. Carl Ray. We're going to share that interview with you again later on, once time permits. Mr. Carl Ray, of course, you remember his story back in the 60s in the South, in the U.S. He refused to say yes, sir, to a white gentleman. And as a result of that, this gentleman was just really upset, almost killed Carl, and went on to murder Carl's father in front of him, shot him 8 times. And Carl has since forgiven this man. It's many years later. He's forgiven him, and he's going to share his story again with you, the viewers, for those of you who missed it. And talking about forgiveness, we also have a special interview this morning. I have a special interview this morning with a very talented young man who has been through a tremendous journey. He was actually incarcerated for 7 years, and he is out now with a brand new attitude, with a new focus, with a story to tell. He's a young man I had the opportunity to work with in the past. You're going to learn much more about this individual, and I'm speaking about none other than Nicholas Gilbert. He's with me this morning. I know it's going to be quite exciting for you. Many of you want to hear Nicholas's story, and he's going to share it with me right here on Chit Chat this morning. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, all about a brand new day for Nicholas Gilbert. We'll be right back.
Digicel delivers bigger, better value all day, every day to more people. Talk for 5 minutes and get the next 55 minutes free on that call. Everyone deserves free talk. And with Digicel, your credit lasts longer. Now that's value. Digicel, the bigger, better network.
Why does it hurt so much? It hurts so much, yet I yearn for your touch, yeah. Maybe I ask too much. Why should I?
Couldn't climb on back with a stick back chat, chat a boy we no sing and strap. If a budget bring back chat, only gunpowder we use bad man who use and trap. Watch us sing fast track, tell cool and relax. Where's the brain might relap, then they get shot through the fat. Home them body like copy with glitches on pack them. Couldn't know the mission, anything to stop off night vision. When the BDB come down, all you know we real fun. Mass over mass, you know we don't afraid.
Live on Community Channel 6 every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's Sound System Saturday.
Welcome back. Just a quick reminder as per usual, if you need to contact me, you can do so via email at 2 addresses, chitchat@columbusgrenada.com or chitchattvshow@gmail.com. Well, I'm back, and for this first segment, I'm really honored to have this young gentleman in studio with me this morning who's actually been through quite a lot for the last 7 years. Last 7 years just went by so quickly when you really think about it, but I'm sure to Nicholas Gilbert it was probably more than 24 hours in a day, because this journey has been a really tough one for him. For many of you remember Nicholas Gilbert, he was actually incarcerated for 7 years after an altercation with his brother on March 1st, 2008. And at the time of this hard incident, little Nicky was actually studying. Then he was little Nicky, was studying at the St. George's University and was close to completing his bachelor's degree. He has since been released, and I can tell you he is now a free man with a free spirit and a completely new outlook on things, and he has lots in store for his future. I just want to say a special good morning to Nicholas. Morning, Nicholas. Good to see you.
Thank you, Lexa.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Good to see you.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for saying yes.
Okay.
And thank you to a very special gentleman on the sidelines right now for making this happen.
It's always a pleasure. Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Nicholas, Let's talk about 7 years ago.
All right. Well, first of all, I would like to correct you. I
Oh,
could not
yes.
have done so because he was already speaking
Yes.
on your own. But it's actually 8 years
Yes,
sentence, right?
8.
8 years sentence. But in calendar years, it would be 5 years, 4 months in prison.
Correct.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that correction.
Right. So speaking
Yeah,
about the
let's-
transition,
Yes.
right? The transition, it was obviously a challenging one, okay? Because I've never anticipated it. It was never in my aspirations of being in prison, okay? And then it happened, and obviously it became part of my reality. In fact, for the last 4, okay? Now, when I just got into prison, right? The conditions was that of being locked down for 23 hours a day, 1 hour out to actually get some sunlight, get a quick bath and back in, okay? And then obviously I wrote a letter to the chief officer, you know, basically explaining to him that I, you know, can make a contribution in the education department. And that is the normal procedure in the prison. So long as you go into the prison under a capital offense, you are put under lockdown for 23 hours per day, okay? But given my circumstances of being able to give some positive assistance in the education department, I was released a bit early from that lockdown, okay? And then I entered into the education department where I assisted in teaching and so on.
Excellent.
Yeah, for STAT.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Tell me about some of your... I want to get into the mind right now of Nicholas Gilbert during that period of time. Tell me what was going through your mind during this time.
Well, it was a very depressing time for me, you know, because what happened was not something that was intended to happen, okay? And then I obviously was very depressed and very frustrated over the matter because it is my own family. And then I'm in prison, and then my family has the bigger burden because they would have had 2 loss basically in the immediate moments, because I would have been in prison and then my brother would have passed. So I was very stressed out and so on, and you know, I basically keep contemplating on how could I make things better. You know, I know that I cannot reverse the past, but how could I make things better and so on. And then I started contemplating and, you know, basically pondering on innovative ways that I can help other persons in prison, the less unfortunate in particular, and so on. And then I decided to form my own rehabilitation group, and I called that the HMP Focus Club. And through that club, we basically assisted in the rehabilitation programs through sporting, culture, educational, and spiritual activities. Okay, apart from that, in helping to, you know, go through my time for the initial period, I also started writing a personal novel, right? And I entitled it A Walk Through the Prison and Back, all right? So that would have been my initial moments, you know, practically trying to grab myself together so that I don't chip off, because I had the tendency for that.
I was just about to say,
Right.
you know, a lot of people might say, you know, wow, you just got locked up. You have 23 hours, you said,
Yep.
of lockdown and no time to really do anything, but you're just lost there in a space with thoughts in your head, and there wasn't a moment at all where you thought, I was going to lose my mind.
Of course, because, like I said, I mean, exactly when I actually just got in, okay? I mean, when they placed me into the cell was just practically empty. You understand? Just a little desk like what they usually have in the pre-primary school, the little and desk with the area to put in the book, and so no bed, nothing at the time. And so on, and from the time the officer locked the gate, like I said, I felt like the walls was coming in, you know, and, you know, I had was to pray a lot. I prayed a lot, I trust in God, I keep the faith and so on, and, you know, I'm out today, I made it through strong, you know, and I really want to thank God for that, yeah?
I prayed for forgiveness.
All the time, yep. And also, if you may remember, that even during my very first week of incarceration, I wrote a letter to the public and addressing the community and my family and so on, basically showing remorse, asking for forgiveness, basically encouraging the youths to don't follow my downfall, but you know, take it as an example to tread upon in terms of a positive direction, because if I was a person who was, you know, endeavoring positiveness and advocating for, you know, youth positivity and so on, and I would have done such a terrible crime, you understand, it therefore means that any and everyone can commit similar offenses, right? And I thought and hoped that through that letter I would have help, you understand, to sort of bring message to the youth at that point in time that, to stay crime-free, stay violent-free, stay away from, the things that provocate and aggravate you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have a son?
If I have a son?
You have a son?
Yes, I do. I have one son.
How old is he?
He's 11 years old.
He's 11.
Yeah.
How do you explain this to your child? Did he ask questions? Did he ever ask questions?
No, he didn't.
No.
Right? No, I'm very fortunate to say that my son parents, well, when I say his parent, I'm his dad, but his mom and his grandmother and so on,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I'm fortunate to say that, they have been very, kind to guide him, so that he did not really take it on too much and, bring a burden onto himself as his dad would have gone to prison for such crime and so on. And I think they handle him in quite a wonderful manner and so on. And the thing about me and my son is that we have a very good relationship, right? Always had, and so on. And as a result of that, he knows me. He knows his father. And I am not disputing that he would not have understood what actually transpired to make me commit such an offense and land myself in prison and be away from him. But I did keep a very good relationship even through prison. You understand, by the visitations and so on, calling and so on, doing what I have to do from there for him, school fares, etc., what the little things that he might need and so on. So I've managed to keep a very good relationship with my son. Thank you for asking.
Very good.
Yeah.
He looks like you, by the way. I think I saw a photo with him.
Okay, thank you.
Looks like you. Looks like you.
All right.
Prison life is no easy life. We know that. You just mentioned that.
Right.
Tell us through your experience. And there are a lot of people out there, and I'm not just going to put anybody in any class. This is a general message to the public right now, letting people know what really was the awakening moment for you when you were locked up.
Well, first and foremost, I would like to say that, people seem to have the wrong concept about prison, especially the young men, okay? Especially the young men. They seem to have this concept of prison that, you get ratings when you go to prison, you've been seen as a bad boy or a gangster, and you get to go on the television because you committed a crime and you get popular, and some of them young ladies even like guys for that. They are attracted to bad boys, and I mean, everybody cannot be the same, but at the same time, what I would like to say is that prison is not a bed of roses. It is not the place designed for our youth, okay? And I've seen that despite the fact that prison is for everyone, okay? But I think that our youth, there's many things out there that our youth can get involved in, especially education and all the positive activities, self-employment and so forth, okay? But in prison, some of the things that really shocked me was to see, like the gangs in prison and the crimes being committed in prison. Because what you see on the other side, a man might chap a man or stab a man or something like that, and he is given a charge and he goes to prison, or probably he would have stolen something from someone else unlawfully and so on. And when you get into prison, you see those guys doing the same thing in prison. You understand? And it's crazy because it just blew my mind off that, some people, it's like it's either they don't care, they're just totally misguided, or, they just give up on life. You understand? And it is really unfortunate. And I want to say that for the viewers here, I mean, all is not over. All is not over. Even if you would have gone to prison, even if you have someone in prison, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the person's life. You understand? I want to make an appeal that for families, loved ones, and so on should really come on board, because, you see, I believe that is a missing factor in the rehabilitation process. You see, when a person falls and goes into prison, they need all the support they could possibly get. You understand? Because inside of there is an area that is highly likely to break you. Highly likely to break you. You understand? If you would come out of it successfully, it means that you would have some real strong personality, some leadership skills, that you must have links or some kind of thing going on for you special. You understand? Because quite naturally it will break you. Okay, so and I think that if families really come on board and support their loved ones in prison and so on, it will give them the opportunity to really look the other direction. You understand? Because what happened inside of there is that then they get in there, they get into the peer pressure, they learn over to the peer pressures, and they become worse.
Yeah.
You understand? They become worse,
Yeah.
and then they are led back out into society. And no wonder why we have so much recidivists in the prison. People just making short trips out, in, out, in.
Yeah.
You understand? And I tend not to just blame the youth alone, you know, because you know, I think we all are stakeholders in what takes place in our community, you know. If we see someone is falling, it is not nice or correct to just say, well, leave him, he go end up in prison.
Right.
You understand? I think we ought to be more responsible citizens and, you know, probably be the bigger person and pull the person square and say, look, man, I mean, come on, how much time are we going to be talking to you about this, that.
Yeah.
What is it you really need?
Yeah.
You understand? You're a good plumber, you're a good mason, whatever. You know, why don't you speak to XYZ, or let me hook you up to XYZ and try to get you in line with a job? Because this is what people really need, and this is what the youths need.
True.
You understand? Yeah.
Nikki, I want you to just pause right there for a quick second. We're going to take a commercial break,
right.
folks. I'm chatting with Nicholas Gilbert. We'll be chatting more about his experience and what the future holds for him. We'll be right back. And welcome back. I'm continuing to chat with Nicholas Gilbert. Of course, he has a brand new name now. And of course, many of you know Nicholas is not just Nicholas. He's also, he started off as a soca dub artist. He was even a model once on stage. We had the opportunity. Let's go to the lighter side of things for a quick second, Nicky. Do you remember? Bless his face, yes.
Yes.
I came across a photo home
Oh, yeah.
with you with your Mr. Lasses Species
Right.
crown on your head. I must really get you a copy of that photo.
Yes, I would like to see
Those
it.
are some good days.
True.
Those are some good
Back
days.
then, yeah.
Really good days. Have you had the opportunity? I think I know this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Your love for music is really deep in your system. Have you had the opportunity to write behind bars?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. As you rightfully say that, you know, I have a deep love and passion for music. And I've also used that time in prison to write a lot of tracks. I've written a lot of soca tracks. I've written some conscious and some dub. Yep.
Nice.
Even some hip hop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Tell me about, before we move on to what the future has in store for you.
Right. Well, we know
If you had to do this all over, Nicky, what would you do differently?
all over from the point of the incident.
From the point of the incident.
Well, obviously, that would have been avoided, right? Because, you know, what really made it actually inevitable is that we live in the same house, okay? And that was very hard because that is our both dwelling house and so on. But thinking about it, you know, obviously the correct thing to do at the time to avoid it would have been to move somewhere else and just, you know, basically just give up and let go, you know, and I would have done that just to avoid it because I love my brother. You understand? There's no doubt about it, you know. What happened is really unfortunate, and I tend not to dwell on it too much, you know. I tend to look at, you know, how I'm moving on from this point, you know, and I think in answering your question, I definitely would have moved away from the house for a while.
Let's talk about a new day. New day for Nicholas Gilbert, now aka
Platinum NG.
NG. Why Platinum?
Okay, well, I've been discussing a number of names with friends, support group, and so on from outside and in the prison to, you know, bring back myself on the music scene. And a number of names came about and so on, and we actually boiled down to Platinum, right? And we were saying that Platinum will sort of give the image of, you know, you being tough, you understand? You being able to bring substantial material, something that is valuable, and on top of that, it sounds good. And that is what I'm about, singing good, right? But then when I brought it to my manager, Chenny Joseph. And big up to Chenny Joseph. He's doing a wonderful job with me.
Excellent job.
Yep. Then he thought that I shouldn't just leave it as platinum. I should leave it as platinum NG, because NG is my initial, Nicholas Gilbert. Even though people would eventually probably just call me platinum, but it's not just platinum, it's who platinum belongs to.
That's
right? And I adopt that name from my manager, Platinum NG. Yeah. And that is the name that I'll be using for Spice Mass 2013.
So there, all right, so we're going to get onto that in just a minute. I just also wanted to find out, because I know up to the time of the incident, you were actually pursuing your bachelor's degree at SGU.
Right.
How's that going? Plans to finish this, to complete it? Yeah?
Yes. Well, actually, it has only been Friday last.
True.
I went into an interview with Mr. Colin Dow, right, Dean of Arts and Science at the St. George's University. And I'm just awaiting a response, because he have to bring forward the content and conclusion of our interview for admission, for readmission, that is, to complete to his superiors or wider board of administrators. Okay, and they would get back to me within a week or two or so on. And I am anticipating a favorable response, you know?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
That's excellent. Go for it. Just go for it.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about Spice Mass.
Right.
I think I caught you, got a little sneak peek of you in studio via photo.
Okay.
I saw you in action doing your thing. What can people expect from Platinum NG?
Okay, well, for Spice Mass 2013, I'm not going to be taking part in competition. Okay. I intend to make a significant contribution to Spice Mass 2013. Okay. The photo you would have seen would have been my first take for my first song at Home-Based Entertainment Studio, right? And I intend to add some spice and some hype to Spice Mass 2013, okay? And you can expect that, okay? It will be delivered.
Excellent. Now, I know you said you're also working. I know this is a season that we focus on soca and all of that.
Right.
But I'm hoping that after Carnival, we can probably get a taste of your conscious and maybe some of your hip-hop music as well.
Yes.
Yeah?
Well, yes, Sam, that is also in the making.
Good.
Right, that is also in the making, and without a doubt, myself and Chenny, as manager, we're going to pursue as much tracks as possible. As we know, I came out a bit pretty just in the heat of the thing for the Carnival already, so I cannot do that much. However, we are fostering to do about 4. Right. Presently, I've only recorded 1 track already, which is in the studio being working on at present. Today, after studio here, I am booked for another studio to go and lay down a 2nd track, and so on. And then, you know, we just try to get as much time as possible to do as much as possible. And hopefully, you know, within like probably by the ending of next week, I am hoping that we should start heating up the radio station. You know, no doubt.
Before we close things off, I want to find out from you, all in all, after everything that you've been through, what would you say is and was the most valuable lesson that you've learned?
Okay. Well, out of everything, you know, it obviously was a bad experience. I use it as an opportunity to do positive. But I think the fact that I would have been in prison as a result of mismanaging my anger, okay, I think that would have been my biggest lesson, okay, because out of it became a fatal error, which I would have to live with and deal with for the rest of my life. Okay, so I've learned to pay more attention, do more research, be in counsel somewhat in that area, okay, and I am more prone to try to manage my anger rather than, you know, becoming all hasty and so on. I am more prone to thinking and relaxing and taking things slow and turning away and stuff like that. So I think that definitely would have been my biggest lesson in context of what we are speaking about. Yeah, that of managing my anger. Yeah. And I think I'm definitely in a better position to do so now. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Older, wiser.
More experience.
More experience.
The whole works.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know the future holds soca for you, hip hop, all of that. Completing your bachelor's degree.
Most
what else would you like to accomplish with your life?
I appreciate that question. No, I really would like to make a meaningful contribution to the youth of our nation and probably as wide to the wider communities and so on. All right, because I think that my life experience, that of committing such a hideous offense and being able to go through the system and get first-hand, experience of what it is like, and come out yet a still positive or more positive person. I would like to use that opportunity to speak to youths, to lecture to youths, to, encourage and motivate youths to stay away from crime and violence. I probably see myself as becoming a youth ambassador in the near future. Okay. Apart from that, as you know, my studies is of paramount importance and so on, and I'm in the field of business. Okay, so I do intend to start my own business, in the near future as well as a business person.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Nicky.
Go ahead.
A lot of people are looking at this interview probably would ask themselves, why should we trust you? Why should we trust that you come to talk to our youths about your experience and you've done this? You have to understand.
Yes, I quite agree.
Some people will forgive you, some people won't forgive you, and some people will not forget.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I quite agree. And I appreciate the question.
Yes. Why should people trust their children with you when it comes to you giving advice
and advice
to youth?
Well, I think quite frankly, I am somewhat a public image now among the youth. And I have been that sort of a person prior to the experience. Okay, I've been working along as a youth advocate in various youth groups and so on. Okay, I share no previous conviction apart from the one. Okay, and I don't think I would ever share another one. Okay, I've kept my integrity, I've kept positive, I've helped from the very day I got the opportunity to help while in prison, up to the very end of it. Okay, so that should speak volumes of my character as an individual. I had the opportunity to do bad. I had the opportunity within closed doors of the prison to do as I pleased. And I chose to do what was good, what was correct. Okay, and if I would have done that within isolation, I think that is fair enough reason for you to trust someone like that, given the experience, right? And so on. And now that I'm here, I mean, I'm just basically open. You understand? I'm free-spirited. And I do expect that everyone would not favor me. Okay? There would be, a few saying yes or no and so on. We expect that to every coin there's two sides. Okay? But what I want to make mention in that regard, we have seen the footage that was placed on from the interview on the internet and so on. And persons might have read it and so on, and they would have seen the overwhelming remarks was favorable to me. And that is not because I spoke well on the day. That is because people know me, right? That is because people can make reference to being around me, living around me. You understand? Being in groups around me and so on. So they speak, they use the opportunity to endorse me coming back into society, and I want to say a very special thank you. I appreciate it all. Okay? And, I just think that if someone does not trust to have me advise a youth, I do not have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with that. But what I would say is that do get someone that you trust and is comfortable with to speak to your youths. Because our youths are out there, and they need people like myself to speak to them. Okay, they need people to motivate them. They need people with the experience. They need people who the youth will listen to. So at the end of the day, it's not just you, whether you don't want the individual to speak to the person, but it's also a question of who the youth will listen to. You understand? Because you might bring a doctor here, okay, and the youth turn on the television and they see this gentleman and I'm like, and it's like, okay, that's not for me. Okay, so, you have to take a number of things into consideration. And I just think that I will be a suitable person, right? I'm putting myself out there to assist, to help. In fact, it was only last night. I was online and I met up with Mrs. Sheldon Scott, Senator Sheldon Scott, and we was engaged in a conversation and so on. And I told him that I would like to assist You understand, with the youth. And, you know, he welcomed it and so on. So in the near future, I hope to be doing something with the Ministry of Youth.
Good.
Okay? But I'm here. You know, I'm here, and in any way that I can help, I will help.
Yeah.
Okay? I will help, because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like for other person to have a loved one in prison, to have a loved one that is going down the drain and needs someone to speak to them.
Yeah.
All right? And it will be a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yep.
In closing, I just want you, as a future ambassador, let's say, for the youth.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What's one of the first messages you would give to youth of our nation who are considered at-risk youth? Would you look at a camera and give them that message?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, as you put it nicely, like said, as a future ambassador for the youth, what would be one of my first message I would give to the youth? Well, there are many messages that I would like to give to the youth. Okay, but let me say first and foremost, our youth need to have dreams. We need to have dreams. We need to dream big dreams. Okay, we need to know where we are coming from, and we need to know where we are going. Right? We need to have our objectives all planned out in a feasible manner so that we can attain them. Okay, not just saying that you want to do that and not working towards it and so forth. Okay, we need to put things in place. We need to be practical. We need to be realistic about our ideas. Okay, and we ought to do this for the sake of ourselves, for our mother or father who have struggled with us, for our family, and for our nation at large. So we need to make a commitment, as I always say, as youth, that, you know, we need to try, we need to persevere to make a better person of ourselves and to help make Grenada a better nation altogether. Yep. Yep.
Well said.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Well said.
Thank you.
And thank you again for being so candid, for being so honest. And I really just want to wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you,
the future is bright. You just got to keep your head on that track, keep your feet on that track that you're currently on.
Right.
It's the best way to go. And just keep striving to become better and better.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And all the best for the season. I'm going to keep my ears peeled to the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Chenny Joseph, I'm going to keep my ears peeled to the radio. And I just really want to wish you all the best. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you,
I'm really proud of you.
Thank
and
you.
just keep your head up, yeah?
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
All right, and thanks to all the listeners, to all the viewers for looking on, right? We really appreciate that. I hope that this interview, you know, gave you some fruitful information and food for thought, especially to the youth.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
One love.
One love, Nicky.
Yeah.
All the best. Keep your ears out for
Platinum NG.
Platinum NG.
It's gonna
New
be
releases
hot.
coming your way. You do have a Facebook page.
Yes, I do.
And I'm sure that your management team is going to have something set up where you can have all your music online,
Right,
etc.
exactly so.
So
Yep.
folks can get connected.
Exactly. Just look me up, Nicholas Gilbert. Feel free to add me.
Of course. All the
right.
best. All
Thanks
the
a
best.
lot, Lex.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, much more right here on Chit Chat.